The Healer King. My name is Aiden Vale. At 11 years old, I had two talents. The first was learning. The second was making people angry without even trying. Personally, I thought the first talent was far more useful. Unfortunately, some people disagreed, especially Lena Ashford and Marcus Reed, the two biggest annoyances in my life. First place again. The teacher pinned another paper to the classroom board, my paper. Several students applauded politely, others groaned. Marcus looked as if he had swallowed a lemon. Lena looked even worse. I returned to my seat. Show off, Marcus muttered. I didn't even say anything. You don't have to. I considered that. Fair point. The students around us laughed. Marcus immediately regretted speaking. That happened often. I wasn't trying to be better than everyone else. I simply enjoyed learning. If a teacher gave us a book, I read it. If there was a puzzle, I solved it. If there was training, I practiced. Apparently that was enough to make some people jealous. Lena came from a noble family famous for producing powerful fire users. Marcus came from a military family known for strong water users. Both had spent their entire lives being told they were special. Then they met me. And suddenly they weren't always first anymore. They never forgave me for that. One afternoon after school, I sat beneath a large oak tree reading. A shadow appeared over the page. I already knew who it was. Reading again? Lena asked. No, she frowned. I lifted the book. Oh, Marcus rolled his eyes. You're impossible. Thank you. It wasn't a compliment. You should make those easier to identify. Several nearby students laughed. Lena crossed her arms. Do you ever do anything fun? I enjoy reading. That doesn't count. According to who? Normal people. Then it's a good thing I'm not normal. The laughter became louder. Marcus groaned. Why do we even talk to him? Excellent question. The truth was simple. They wanted a reaction. They wanted me angry, frustrated, embarrassed. Instead, they usually embarrassed themselves, not because I was trying to humiliate them. Because they kept picking fights they couldn't win. Verbal fights, at least. Physical fights weren't an option. Everyone knew that. Our kingdom encouraged children to train from a young age, not power training, not yet. That began at 12. But physical training started much earlier. Running, swimming, sword forms, fitness exercises, basic combat, I loved all of it. Marcus did not. Lena only enjoyed the parts she won. As a result, neither had much interest in testing themselves against me physically. 1 month before our 12th birthdays, the entire school became excited, because everyone knew what was coming. Power Awakening Day. The most important day in a child's life. The day our abilities would reveal themselves. 3 powers existed in our world. Fire strength, water strength, healing power. Nobody could choose. The power chose you. That single moment could influence the rest of your life. Students discussed it constantly. What do you want? Someone asked during lunch. Fire. Definitely fire. No way. Water is better. Healing would be awful. Several students nodded. I looked up from my meal. Why? A boy shrugged. You don't get to fight, so? Fighting is cool. Being alive is cooler. The table laughed. The boy rolled his eyes. You're weird. I've heard that before. The weeks passed quickly. Soon the day finally arrived. Power Awakening Day. The entire capital seemed alive with excitement. Families filled the streets. Banners decorated buildings. Children my age wore their best clothes. Parents looked more nervous than their kids. My mother checked my collar 3 times before breakfast. My father laughed every time. By the 4th adjustment, even I was getting annoyed. The awakening hall was enormous. Hundreds of children gathered inside. The king himself sat on a raised platform. Nobles, military officers, master healers, important guests filled the hall. The atmosphere felt overwhelming. Then the ceremony began. One by one, students stepped forward. One by one, powers awakened. A girl received fire. A boy received water. Another fire. Another water. The crowd cheered each result. Then Lena stepped forward. Red light erupted from the crystal. Flames danced around her fingers. The hall applauded loudly. Her family looked delighted. Lena looked even more delighted. She immediately searched the crowd. When she found me, she smirked. I rolled my eyes. Marcus followed several students later. Blue energy swirled around him, water strength. His family celebrated. Marcus pumped his fist, then gave Lena a victorious grin. Apparently they were already imagining themselves as legendary warriors. Eventually my turn arrived. The hall became quiet. I walked toward the crystal, placed my hand against it, and waited. Golden light spread across the surface. Warm energy flowed through my body. A peaceful sensation filled me. The result appeared moments later, healing power. The reactions were mixed. Master healers smiled. Many adults nodded respectfully. A few students looked disappointed on my behalf. Lena and Marcus looked thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. I knew exactly why. For years they had searched for something to use against me. Now they finally had it, or so they thought. The next morning the attacks began. "Look who it is," Lena announced. "The future bandage expert." Several students sighed. "Not this again," Marcus grinned. "Be nice." "Why? He might heal us." I sat down at my desk. "What a terrifying threat." The class laughed. Lena frowned. "You don't care? About what?" "Getting healing." "No, why not?" I thought for a moment, then answered honestly. "Because it's my power." The room became quiet. Even Lena seemed surprised. "You wanted healing?" "No." "Then why aren't you upset?" I shrugged. "Being upset won't change anything." The teacher entered before anyone could continue. The conversation ended, but the bullying did not. Months passed, then years. The insults continued. Most failed immediately. One day Marcus pointed at my training uniform. "Preparing to heal paper cuts." I looked at him. "No, what then?" "Preparing to heal the injuries you'll get from making bad decisions." The nearby students burst out laughing. Marcus spent the rest of the lesson glaring at me. Life settled into a routine: school, training, studying. Power development, repeat. At first, healing seemed simple: repair injuries, reduce pain, treat illnesses, useful, important, not flashy. Meanwhile, fire and water users learned impressive combat techniques. Explosions, powerful strikes. Defensive barriers. Students loved watching those demonstrations, especially Lena and Marcus. They never missed an opportunity to show off. At 13, school competitions began. Nothing serious. Obstacle courses, academic tournaments. Power control exercises, team challenges. I entered almost all of them, mostly because they were fun. Winning happened naturally. That irritated certain people. "Aiden wins again." The announcement echoed across the training grounds. Students applauded. Lena stared at the scoreboard. Marcus looked ready to argue with reality itself. I received the medal, then sat back down. "This is getting ridiculous," Marcus complained. "You say that every time. Because you keep winning. Have you considered winning instead?" The surrounding students immediately started laughing. Marcus buried his face in his hands. Even some teachers smiled. By 14, my healing control surpassed most students. By 15, instructors regularly used me as an example, not because healing was powerful, because I worked hard. Many students treated training as a chore. I treated it as a challenge. Every skill could improve. Every weakness could be reduced. That mindset helped me progress faster than most. Unfortunately, it also made Lena and Marcus even more frustrated. One afternoon during a training session, Lena accidentally burned her hand. Nothing serious, just a small injury. The instructor called me over. "Aiden," I nodded, placed my hand over the burn. Golden light appeared. Seconds later, the injury vanished. Several students applauded. Lena stared at her healed hand, then at me, then looked away. For some reason, that seemed to annoy her more than any insult ever had. By 16, everyone in our class had become stronger. Fire users could create larger flames. Water users controlled greater volumes of water. Healers developed more advanced techniques. Graduation was still 2 years away. Most students were already thinking about their futures. Military service, universities, royal academies, guilds. The future felt closer than ever. I thought life would continue normally. I was wrong, very wrong. Because before that year ended, everything was about to change. And it would begin with a decision made by 2 very angry classmates.